Welcome. You are now watching Boss Lady News, highlighting businesses, nonprofits, events, talent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Miss Britt Johnson.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Boss Lady News. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. I am who I am because of you and your viewership. Thank you for all the support. As usual, we've got a great show today, Friday. I hope you guys are having a great day. If you missed any of our previous shows, make sure you check out the website, bossladynews.com, or visit us on YouTube, Boss Lady News. We've got an amazing show being aired here at BNN, Comcast Channel 23, and throughout the world. As usual, we're going to talk with Cuban Mic on some trending topics. You guys know we always go ahead and get right into it. And we're going to have Miss Brent S. Harding. You know how she's always trying to get me to that point, right, where I've just developed and I'm just not there yet. But she's got some amazing information for us and how we're going to be networking and going into 2020. I'm super excited for 2020. Start your 2020 now. We're also going to be talking with Brian. You guys saw me on social media. And talk about the cannabis industry here in Boston, where it's going, what it's doing, who's getting involved, how can other people get involved. So, as we normally do, let's go ahead and talk with Mr. Cuban Mic. Hey!
Oh, what's going on?
How are you?
Life is good at the moment. Life
It's
is good.
good. You know, life is good, period. Life is what you make it.
Amen to that. Amen
Right?
to that. We ain't match it this time.
I know. We didn't make that call.
Yeah, I know. We didn't make that call. We usually freestyle by coincidence.
I know. So the normal, you know, when it naturally happens, that's like when you can tell we're brother and sister.
Of course.
Mi hermano.
Yeah, tu sabes, hermana. Ya tú sabes, ya tú sabes. Yeah.
What's going on out there?
Well, a lot. You know, I wish I had enough time to talk about all the stuff that's going on in this world, but you know, like always, you always come in the time limit. So
That's right.
Let me begin right now.
Okay.
First and foremost, we gotta give rest in peace to John Witherspoon, legendary comedian. Yes. He's better known as the Dad and Friday, Pops from the Wayans Brothers. This man, I mean, legendary. He started his career in the 70s, transformed again in the 80s with the Hollywood Shuffle, came back in the 90s with, you know, he had all these little small roles, but every time he had a small role, he always stole the show.
Exactly.
In those small little scenes that he had.
His personality was amazing.
Of course. He was like everybody's favorite granddad.
Yeah.
And he transformed from generation to generation, and his most notable role he had, again, was the Dad and Friday and Pops and the Wayans Brothers. And he reinvented himself with his career again when he did the voice of Granddad in the Boondocks.
Yes.
So, I mean, huge loss. I was watching these old interviews from him when he was passing, and he always had this joke. He's like, you know, every 3 or 4 years, I always catch myself on Twitter, and they keep saying I died. And it's just a little thing that keep coming every 2 or 3 years that I just died. Like, no, I'm in the comedy road trying to get this paper, baby. And you know, him and his spontaneous voice. So, yeah, I mean, huge loss. He was 77 years old, man.
Wow. Our condolences, deepest condolences to the family and friends.
Of course. And me being a hip-hop head, I was so happy because a release album from Gangstar, legendary group from Gangstar, came out. And this group, they broke up. Well, I don't know they broke. Yeah, they broke. Their last album was in 2003, and they went into separate ways.
Right. And for those of you that don't know, you know what I'm saying, this is 90s baby, 90s rap, 90s hip hop.
Yes. Gangstar, one of the greatest groups of all time. Guru being from Boston, and DJ Premier, arguably one of the best DJ producers of all time. You know, they had all these critically acclaimed albums. And they came out with an album yesterday, posthumously released, called One of the Best Yet.
Okay.
All these vocals that DJ Premier had on the booth, well, it was a long story behind that, but he managed to get these vocals from Guru and get them updated. And you know, he had all these guest appearances from J. Cole, which got a dope song out there.
Nice.
Lady Scott, Talib Kweli.
Nice.
He brought the original Gangstar Foundation in it, so I was just happy to hear that album.
It's good to kind of see, like, music kind of being brought back to its origins.
Yes.
You know, everyone loves music. Everyone loves how, you know, rap has been able to transcend generations, transcend cultures, transcend nationalities, and transcend purposes. Yeah. Right? So that's awesome to hear.
And one of the good things about that album, like, me being a Tupac fan, I hate the fact every time you hear his albums, they get remixed with like these unknown artists or just artists doesn't go together. When you hear this album, it just goes together.
Right.
It goes together. It's not no random artist with Google's voice, and it just sounds like they were in the booth together and did this music. So it's beautiful.
Ah, I
love it.
Got 1 more minute.
Yes, Byron Allen.
Okay.
Yes, we talked about this earlier on, and I wish I had more time to speak about this, but he's a guy that I told you that owns the Comcast network, and he's suing Comcast for almost $1 billion because of all the racial discrimination they had behind the, well, not even behind the scenes, now it's just in front of the scenes.
Right.
And I wish we could go to clip on it and just give me 30 seconds of what's going on there.
30 seconds
Just
of this
give me 30
clip
seconds,
with
and they got me
Byron.
the time limit here,
Byron.
kids.
We got it? Okay.
Just give me 30 of what's going on here.
And I remember I said to Tom Rutledge at Charter, Tom Rutledge said, well, you sued me and blah, 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 because I was trying to get my merger done. I said, Tom, if you really want to know the truth, why I sued you, it's when I saw you in the newspaper with Al Sharpton, and you had taken a photo with Al, and you said, and this is no disrespect to Al, you said, we have an MOU, a memorandum of understanding with black people. And I said, Al, who is the white guy who speaks for all black people? And why do you think there's a black guy that speaks for all black people? And why do you think he speaks for me? And so
There's
that's
more.
powerful.
Yeah, there's more to that interview. I mean, there was this thing that they were trying to have a black college basketball network there, and Comcast shut it down. There's a lot of grimy things going behind the scenes. So he won 3 times with Comcast, and now Comcast just won't accept that loss. So now they're taking it to the Supreme Court. And, Comcast has a lot of connections there, especially with the Trump administration, which, the nonsense they're doing.
Right. And I mean, at the end of the day, and this is what, people need to understand, it's all good for people to feel as if there should be some kind of communal responsibility. However, business is business, and most of television is owned by 6 major companies.
Yes, he's talked about that. The interview gets deep. The interview gets really, really deep. So I suggest everybody,
Check
we
it
talk
out.
about ownership and getting your own, you gotta really hear the interview, because he's dropping a lot of gems in that.
Thank you. You're not going anywhere, though.
Yeah, we used to have a hashtag. Give Cuban Mic 2 more minutes. We're gonna have a hashtag here. I'm gonna have to promote this out here.
Give Cuban Mic 2 more minutes. That's going to be
minutes.
next time,
Yeah.
okay? You guys don't go anywhere. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Miss Brent. Yes, Brent S. Harding, all right? Don't go anywhere. You're watching Boss Lady News.
We're paying our bills. Come back. Come back, y'all.
I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Cost of family time activities getting you down?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org to find out which park or forest is closest to your family.
Acorns are not real currency, but that's okay because parks or forests are either free or super affordable. It's a truly economical way for the whole family to enjoy each other's company and bond beyond the confines of concrete buildings and rush hour.
Hey guys, thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. And now we're going to go ahead and get into our amazing conversation with Miss Brent S. Harding. Yay!
Good to be here. Great
Please
to be here.
have a seat.
I shall.
I am so excited to have you on every time you come on. And normally we have you come on and do like these snippets of advice. And I'm starting to realize that we kind of need to get more in depth with some of those advisory pieces.
Okay, I like that.
Okay? And so 2020 is coming down the line.
It surely is.
And-
Huge.
And I feel like, all of us want to be 100% prepared for 2020. But people are trying to still figure things out. They're trying to figure business out. They're trying to figure networking out. They're trying to figure relationships. They're trying to figure out who's my core market, my target market.
Absolutely.
I'm even going to give a quick shout out to my broker, Alex E. Edwards, who told me that I don't know who I am as of yet.
Oh.
Boss Lady News, Boss Lady does real estate. but who am I? So going into 2020, what is some advice that you would give people with their business?
I initially, my first thoughts are understand and learn how to collaborate. We cannot do everything by ourselves. We can't operate in a vacuum. We need to be ready, willing, and able to collaborate with each other. What's your ownership piece of this? What's my ownership piece of that? And to make sure that we're doing something that I have been talking about, which is the cross-marketing side. So let me focus in on that because I'm loving that. And that's when you and I go to an event together. We're really clear about our businesses and what each of us does. And then we take the room by storm. So we might start north and south. And what we're doing is we're crisscrossing that room. And we're introducing not only ourselves, but the person that we're connected with. And what's really powerful about that is it gives us girth and it gives us size. Because a lot of times what happens is a company will talk to you and they want to know, well, do you have the capacity to perform that function? Well, hey, let me introduce you to my partner over here. In fact, let's walk over there. Let me introduce you.
Right.
And so what it does is it gives us capacity.
I like how you just said, let's walk over there. And let me introduce you to the next person. Because so often we try, I think, to say, oh, I got someone that can do this, or I've got a team, but nothing is real until it's tangible and somebody can see it.
Absolutely.
So it's really important that we are introducing this other piece
Absolutely.
that we have.
And you know, what's really powerful is for solopreneurs in particular, for those ones that are just by themselves, if they can walk with somebody, it's a collaboration. So we're clear about the collaboration, but it gives the girth. It now raises the bar. So it's not about them being solo. They're not just by themselves. Because one of the things that happens with a company is when they say, okay, I'm going to sign a contract with you, but it's just you.
Right.
So what happens if something happens to you? And that's what they're thinking about. They may not say it, but that's what they're thinking about is what happens. If Brent goes down, who's going to pick up the ball and carry it from there?
Right.
So I even encourage, depending on the relationship, if you've got a good relationship, and in this case, we're signing something that says we have a relationship, is that it allows me to cross collateralize you on my website and vice versa.
Right.
So as my site is being revamped, and I'm really excited about Include Innovation that's doing that. One of the things that happens is that I'll have on that site people that I have relationships with that become a part of my team. So it gives girth to it.
Right.
So that's going to be really outstanding going into 2020 is that people want to know you got capacity.
Right.
So again, walk them over, meet my partner, meet my this, meet my that, is really what I'm encouraging people to understand and do. And in fact, just recently, I had that happen with two colleagues of mine. One invited me to an event with the YWCA in Cambridge was having their annual event. I ran into folks that I haven't seen in a while, and I remember saying to him, okay, Mike, how do we want to do this?
Right.
You know, how do we want to introduce ourselves? And then I had another one with Rosie's Place, same kind of scenario. And what it did is it grew the capacity.
Right.
And that's what I'm encouraging folks to understand is grow your capacity. And you know what? Here's the thing. Oh, well, I want it for myself. Let me tell you something. I used to own a mortgage brokering company, and I would never forget a consultant saying to me, Brent, if I dropped 100 deals on your desk right now, how many could you realistically close in 30 days?
Exactly.
Same thing with real estate.
Right.
You got to share because you can't do it all yourself. And I said, you know, I probably would only be able to close 30. So what does that mean? That means you got to go find somebody else, some other folks that you got relationships with, and be willing to split it. 50% of something is better than 100% of a zero.
Nothing, right.
There you go.
And I love how you're explaining that because, yes, so many people out there, they have this, like, it's got to be me.
It's got to be all me.
It's got to be me. I got this. I can do this. I can do that. I can do that.
Absolutely.
And I like how you also mentioned the cross-collateralization.
We're going to share the money.
Share the
money.
wealth. I love it.
Thank you. Boom, chakalaka.
We're going to do it.
Absolutely.
And then being able to take those funds and invest them as a group is what wealthy people tend to do.
That's right.
And it's so important that we're understanding the power of our businesses. Because
Absolutely.
as a how do you say it? Solopreneur? I love that word. Hashtag solopreneur. As a solopreneur, it's important that you are building these relationships with other skills that are in other places.
Absolutely, 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 for certainty.
Well, thank you for that. And you're not going anywhere either. You're coming back with us.
Yes.
And you guys are not going anywhere because now, or next, we're going to be talking with Brian Keith about the cannabis industry. But first of all, is he even from Boston? Because, you know, people are trying to figure out a little bit more about other people and where they're from and the businesses they're bringing into Boston, but are they from Boston? So you guys don't go anywhere. If you have any questions, make sure you write them down and email me, bossladynews@gmail.com, and we'll be right back.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. You guys know that you should also make sure that you're staying on this channel and watching all of the other amazing programming that comes on here. People who are talking about amazing community events, people who are talking about being activists, what's going on. You've even got some spiritual programming that's going on here. Comcast Channel 23, make sure you're staying tuned. Now let's go ahead and clap on out. Brian. Hey. Oh, I'm a hugger.
That's fine. How you doing?
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
I'm a hugger, so you got to get used to that. We had a chance to meet.
Yeah.
When I was working or communicating with one of the developers here in Boston. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you know, I really would like you to come back and meet with one of my partners. There's an amazing, you know, business venture that we are pursuing, and it was you. Yeah. And I thought it was interesting because who considers someone who's in real estate also being invested in the cannabis industry? But business is business, and right. Cross-promoting and marketing and all that good stuff and wealth building. So, you know, Brian, are you originally from Boston bringing this business in?
I am originally from Boston, yeah.
Okay.
I lived there my entire life.
Okay.
I can go through the schools that I went to. St. Kevin's is where I started before they were apartments in Upham's Corner.
Okay.
The Channing, the Mather, the McCormick, and graduated from the John D. O'Brien School of Math and Science.
Okay.
In Roxbury, Dudley Square.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so many people, the community is sometimes up in arms whenever there's new business coming in that they maybe did not usher in on their own.
Sure.
And what I've come to find out is it's important for people to know that these business entrepreneurs are actually from their area, from their community.
Yeah.
Because that is important.
Oh, it's important, and it's important to us, and that's actually the foundation of our company. The way we put this together is by bringing together not just the 4 owners, which are myself and my wife, Joanne Keith, and Salman Chowdhury and his wife, Rokia, but we also brought together 40 individuals from the city of Boston, also 40 people of color, and they are our investors. So to date, we've raised about $700,000 towards this venture, all with people of color, all with people from Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, and Hyde Park.
Now, did you, being a young man, is this the plight that you kind of always were on? Did you always see yourself being a businessman, or were you like pegged to be a doctor?
If that's my mom, what I was pegged to be. But no, I think that, you know, I think everyone wants to eventually own their own and do their own. And I think that, the legalization of cannabis in the state of Massachusetts gave a lot of people opportunity. It's just been very difficult because of legislation, local and state, that people haven't been able to move forward in it. We think that we've put together a great plan, and we've put together an amazing team, and we're doing what we can to move forward.
Yeah. I still, typically people don't find themselves in the cannabis industry.
Sure.
How did you actually find yourself into the cannabis industry?
You know what? It's what I think is an unfortunate beginning, but we've turned it into something special. We were approached by companies from out of town. Both my partner and I were approached by companies from out of town who wanted to offer us millions and millions of dollars because they wanted a person of color to be the face of cannabis, but they were going to be in the background, really running it. So we looked at that opportunity and said, this isn't for us. We can do this better, and we can actually involve, our community and involve people from this neighborhood to really make this happen and really truly make it from the community and for the community. And that's what we did, bringing together people from this neighborhood, and I like to specify when I say people of color, it's 37 Black people, 2 people who are Latinx, and 1 person who's Cambodian. So it's truly...
I appreciate you saying that.
No, it's very important.
Because I went to, recently I was at a gala, you guys can check out the pictures on my social media, and Mr. Cruz was there from Cruz Management, property management and construction. And I appreciate the fact that he was there, but what I do find a lot of companies saying is, the percents of the people of color, but they don't always define, what that percent even is, like breaking those numbers down even more. And I feel like just being a Black woman, I think it's important to know that like people of color isn't like, oh, we've got really 65% Asian women and maybe 5% Black women, and then the numbers in between are just mixed up.
And that's
so I appreciate you.
It's important to us too because 51% of our investors are also women. And by the nature of our investment team, they're women of color. So it was important to us that we diversified that mix of it, but also that we, since we're going in Roxbury, that we ensured that our investment team looked like the community that we're going into. Additionally, we're not really going into it because my partners, they live off of Humboldt Ave, and I live 4 blocks away from Dudley Square, which is where we're going to be placing this. So we are not looking to put this outside of our community. We're not looking to put it where we're not. We're looking to bring this to where we are.
So what made you guys even decide to want to be a part of and building something here in Boston versus investing in, a company that's in another state that, cannabis is already 100% legalized or, fully available to the public? Because I'm sure that was maybe a conversation where it's like,
absolutely. It's an ongoing conversation as well, but we wanted to make sure that we started in Boston because at the end of the day, cannabis is coming to Boston. It's legal here in the state of Massachusetts. It's going to come to Boston. It's going to come to Roxbury. We wanted to make sure that the individuals who brought it to Roxbury did it the right way. We wanted to make sure that they were sensitive to the realities of Dudley Square, that they were sensitive to the history of cannabis in this community, and we think that we can do that. We think that we're the right stewards to bring it to this neighborhood.
Yeah, and I went to one of the meetings, the community meetings, and there's people that are on the fence, but what I really loved about the people that did support it is them also, being willing to say, there's a lot more fighting against people of color that are bringing cannabis into the community than non-people of color who already have cannabis dispensaries. And the challenge of really, getting that opportunity and encouraging the community to give you guys this opportunity.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter, and we respect it, is that cannabis has had a long history of being, the bad thing, the thing that your parents or your grandparents didn't want you to do, didn't want you involved in. So we
But they were probably doing.
Well, so we get that, and we understand that, it's difficult for a lot of people, and they don't want it near them, or they don't want it where they are. So what we've been doing is we've been engaging people from the very beginning. We've spoken to over 40 neighborhood organizations and influential people, not just to say that we've spoken to them, but actually to solicit their feedback. One of the things that we're doing, and we'll talk about it, I guess, later in the show, but Dudley Square has 5 schools in it. You know, it's a business district with 5 schools. We can't be within 500 feet of a school. So one thing that we're doing to mitigate any impact that we may have on young people is we're actually closing our doors for somewhere between an hour and 90 minutes during the day when those schools are closing, because again, we want to recognize that we could have an impact on young people, and we want to do everything we can to mitigate that.
Right. Before you go any further with that, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to show you guys some of the slides from the statistics and the details behind Rooted in Roxbury's push or abilities to bring a dispensary here. So you guys don't go anywhere. If you have questions or comments, please make sure you email me, but stay tuned to Boss Lady News.
Most of family time activities getting you down?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org to find out which park or forest is closest to your family.
Acorns are not real currency, but that's okay because parks or forests are either free or super affordable. It's a truly economical way for the whole family to enjoy each other's company and bond beyond the confines of concrete buildings and rush hour.
Thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. We're here with Brian Keith, and we're actually having the discussion. He's one of the co-owners of Rooted in Roxbury, and you guys are bringing a dispensary here to the Boston area, to the Roxbury area. And we do have some images and some statistics that will actually help you guys understand some of these better. Yeah. But first, again, we do have the owners. So I wanted to make sure that our viewers got a chance to see who some of the owners were.
Sure. It's myself and my wife, Joanne, and also Salman Chowdhury and his wife, Rokia. Salman and Rokia, they both own the Dudley Cafe, as well as the Shanti Indian restaurants in Dorchester, Roslindale, and Cambridge.
Right.
Yeah.
And the next slide that we have, I kind of wanted you to describe this to us.
Sure, and this is important because a lot of people will say, you know, our investors are from here, or these are, you know, just trust me. We actually wanted to show people where our investors are from, and anyone from Boston will recognize these locations: Moreland Street, Warren Street, Bowdoin, Hammond, Schuyler. These are all, you know, streets that our investors live on, and like the slide says, 600 at the time that was shown, but it's actually over $700,000 now that we've raised.
Right.
All from individuals who live on these streets, all from individuals who are from our neighborhood and our community, and all people of color.
And this next slide that we have, this is ideally the location?
This is the proposed location, very recognizable, right on Dudley Street, across the street from Hibernian Hall, or if you know Suya Joint, it's opposite of Suya Joint. So we wanted to be in the heart of our community. We wanted to be in the Black business district in the city of Boston, and that's why we chose Dudley Square.
Right. And briefly, I guess my argument while at the community meeting was they're fighting so hard against people of color having a dispensary. There are other dispensaries already opened, but there's multiple liquor stores that young people are actively able to walk into to get juices, to get chips, and leading them into a pipeline of also getting their liquor from there. And it's almost as if adults want to imagine that children are not already familiar with marijuana, with cannabis. And I think it's unfortunate that we think that way because young people could also maybe understand the business behind this.
Yeah, and you know, what I tell people all the time is, you know, there's a rule. We can't be within 500 feet of a school, which I completely respect. But the way we're looking at it is if you are 100 feet from a school and you are a great character, you're a great neighbor, you can do what you can to mitigate any impact you'll have on young people. But you could be 1,000 feet from a school. And if you are not a bad actor and you're doing the wrong things, then you're still going to have an impact on those young people. So the way we look at it is we're going to run our business the same way you see the Dudley Cafe run, the same way you see the other retail, customer-facing businesses that my partners run. It will be similar to that. So we also be doing the work to mitigate any risk, you know, to young people. So.
Yeah. We do also have a picture here that kind of explains a little bit more in terms of like, well, explain this to us.
Sure. This was a slide that just gave a brief overview and highlight of what we will be bringing to the community with just projected tax revenue of $400,000, 25 plus jobs where we'll be focusing on people from this community, people of color. Our company, as I mentioned previously, being 100% local and 100% person of color run. And then we've taken no funds. This would have been easier, an easier process with unlimited funds, and that's, like I said, what was offered to us. But we didn't do that. We wanted to make sure that we were using funds from this community, and when we share those funds then go back to the people in the community. We feel that that's how you truly build generational wealth, and that's kind of the other business side, business view that we're taking. We want to make sure that the give back goes to people in this community.
Right.
As opposed to going to Canada or California or Colorado. We want to make sure that it stays in Roxbury. We want to make sure that it stays here.
Right. And building the community from the inside out.
Absolutely.
So I, just so you guys know, am in support of this dispensary, but I've also been in support of making sure that this dispensary allows people like myself or other professionals out there to bridge the gap between understanding business with the community and the benefits of being a part of the business, not just what the business is and what it's doing.
And one of the biggest success stories that I like to talk about is our smallest investment number is $1,250. Our largest investment dollar is $62,000. We have a group of 3 young black women who pooled their money together, and they were able to put $1,250 together. Now they're a part owner in this location, and now they're in the cannabis business.
Wow.
That's something that they'll have in perpetuity, that will always be there. Every time we share, they'll be a part of that, and it allows them, the 3 of them, to grow and just be a part of this burgeoning industry.
For sure. And for all the wealthy people out there that are watching, I appreciate you also. This is a wealth train.
Absolutely.
And being able to be aware of when you can jump onto that wealth train. So we're going to want to make sure we stay following you and watching and seeing how things are working out. And I'm sure the viewers will also. How can they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with us via email. Our email is rootedinroxbury@gmail.com. And then I would also ask that, we need support. We need people from the community to reach out to Jessica Thomas, who's the Roxbury Office of Neighborhood Services, and let her know that, they like what Rooted in Roxbury is doing and that they want to see us come to Dudley Square.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you coming on.
Absolutely.
This
Thank
isn't
you.
the last time, right?
No.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, Brent has some more tidbits, golden nuggets, networking, business tricks for you guys. So don't go anywhere, okay? You're watching Boss Lady News.
Did you, what did
You made your house a reality. Homeschooling yourself on loans, color-coding listings, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. If you can ace house hunting, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Thank you guys for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I'm super excited of again, 2020. I say it's here right now. I've been working on my 2020 for like the past couple months, and really being comfortable with cross-promoting. But you know what's interesting that I had seen on someone's social media? A young lady who does Forex, right? Tamika, if you guys know her, or you can find her under my friends, she decided for the next 2 months that she's gonna hop off of social media. And it's to revamp and to redo her look and to, have people kind of passionate and waiting for when she comes back out in 2020. And I'm like, oh my gosh, should I do that? I just thought it was an awesome trick to kind of really get people, as soon as she pops back on, it's gonna be like, what is she doing? What's going on? What is she up to? So what are some of the marketing tools that people can use?
Well, that actually it's a great idea. And in fact, I have really toned down a lot of my social media as well. And it's interesting because it does make people curious. You know, if I post, and I actually had to look at my posts. I said, man, a lot of my posts are about me. So I need to make some adjustments on that. However, what I have found is that people are very definitely toning it down, and then it does create that anticipation. So I think it's an awesome idea. I would go one step further and say, especially for people like yourself, for entrepreneurs, is that we do well to separate ourselves, to have the business and then our personal. And that is really important. I encourage people not to merge those together. If you're going to be on Facebook, you have your personal on Facebook, you have your professional, so that people get really clear about the distinction. Not only you're clear about it, they're clear about it. On LinkedIn, I have my personal LinkedIn page, and then we have the business page. And there is an intertwining, but what you will see, especially in pictures will tell a lot of the story.
Right.
And so there is a distinction there. Instagram, I have both. Distinction there. Those are the things that really do make it important and also allow you to have that and then rise up.
Right.
So I love what she's doing. I like that whole strategy. And here's the news. You've got time to do it right now. So if you're doing it in November and December, and then you pop in 2020,
right.
Separating things out, people are like, wow. So you do not have 3 pages, you've got 6 pages, and you get to tell the story. You get to define the schedule. So, for example, I'll be going into 2020 with Throwback Thursdays. So it'll be all that stuff that I've done, and then it'll get thrown in on a Thursday. So each day I've got a calendar of what it is that we'll get focused in on.
Nice.
Which actually comes out of a PR company. So that,
Nice.
yeah. So those are some of the things that they do make a difference.
So you've got like a strategic plan for your posts.
Yes,
Nice.
very definitely strategic plan. And it's interesting because, as you know, I am a member of BNI, which is a Business Network International. We have one in Roxbury. I am so proud. It took 2 years, but we have a BNI in Roxbury that, ironically enough, primarily, no, in fact, actually right now it's all businesses of color.
Yes.
And so we're utilizing each other's services. And there are 2 gentlemen in particular. One is Brandon Ranson, who will be doing my website, and that's Include Innovation.
Oddly enough, so his child, Brian's child, and my child all go to the same school.
No, is that right? Oh my goodness. You're going to figure out a way, bring them in through the children.
That's right, bring them in through the children.
Oh, a great guy. He and his wife, they're going to be doing my website. There's another gentleman that's just joined the group. I wish I could say his name. I do apologize. I will the next time. But he is doing digital marketing. And in that digital marketing space, the posts for you, things of that nature. So it will help to me personally to better, to not only stay on that schedule, but I don't have to do everything all for myself.
Right.
So I am enthusiastic about that. That is truly very powerful. But I got to give one more. Can I give one?
Yes.
Travel. Folks, you got to go see some other places. Why? Because 2020, the celebrations are going on. There's the celebration in Dubai. There's a celebration in Hong Kong. There are celebrations that are going on right now that give us an opportunity to expand. So if we've got, if you've got budget dollars in marketing, utilize some of those to be out exploring other areas.
Right.
Why? Because it makes your tentacles grow even further. Couple of strategic people that you interface with will keep that communication going on.
Awesome.
So that's definitely
And before
part of
I
it.
let you go, I do want to run over and maybe Brian can just grab me that bag, or one of those handsome gentlemen over there can just grab me this bag. So there was thank you so much.
Yes.
Mass Black Expo. That happened, and it was amazing. It was a 2-day event.
2 days, yes.
And this 2-day event brought workshops, it brought vendors, it brought businesses together. And I love how like this cross-promoting and acknowledging like who's been a part of this is so important.
Absolutely.
Had a great time.
Yep.
What were your keys from that?
Well, the very first key is the location it was in. We made it to the convention center. Yay!
Yes,
Location. So that was huge. What was also huge is just, I am really, my focus as the president of BNI, this chapter, is I want to see Boston be the Atlanta up north. And these are our opportunities to do that. Mass Black Expo, that we're here.
Right.
And those are some of the biggest things that I got out of that. And there were workshops, workshops that focused. I ran into Darren Leverett, and he says, I said, well, what brought you down here? He said, this is where the people are at, and I'm coming to be where they are at.
That's right.
Those are the kickers.
Business brings business. Like-minded people bring like-minded people. Thank you so much.
You
we
are
can't
so
wait
welcome.
to have you on next time.
Don't give it, turn it up. Yeah, boom, shakalaka.
She said turn it up.
Turn it up.
Well, turn it up.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Appreciate it tremendously.
So we're going to hop in with some more trending topics with Cuban Mic, and then after that, you guys, we're going to run out and we're going to go and look at a property really quick for our realty time. We're going to take a brief break, though. Go and grab your water and come right back, okay?
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Hey guys, thank you for staying tuned to Boss Lady News. I hope you guys are really keeping track of what's going on the social media. I can't wait to have someone come back on to kind of do like the fitness piece with us, and that's going to be Orville Joseph. I hope I said the name correctly. Yes. So he's going to be coming on, and he's actually going to do like that little exercise piece that we used to have. I'm super excited for that. And Cuban Mic, you've got some more trending topics for us.
Yes, for the next few minutes here, we're going to talk about our man Kanye West.
Kanye.
Yes. You know, there's been this thing for the last year to try to cancel it out for his all outrageous shenanigans. And I've come to the conclusion that this man's not getting canceled no time soon. He came out with an album called Jesus is King. It had at least over 300 million streams, sold 250,000+ copies. It's the #1 album in America.
And I hear everyone bumping it. And, and it's funny, one of my friends said to me, this is the Kanye that we like. This is the Kanye. I'm like, but this is the Kanye from before, too.
It's a Kanye. I don't even know what era of Kanye we're getting in the States.
He was always in that Jesus God body thing
he was
before.
on this, but now he's like on level 99 on this album.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting tracks you got to hear is the song he has with the Clips, which I was happy to hear them together. But it has Kenny G on the saxophone.
Oh wow.
It's an interesting song.
It's a nice collaboration.
Yeah,
Speaking of collaborations.
Yeah, sonically, the album is not bad. Lyrically, it's all over the place. But he did this interview with Big Boy, which sparking a whole lot of noise again, where he said that I mean, it's a lengthy interview, very interesting. He's all over the place. Certain things I agree with, certain things I don't agree with. But he was talking about how black people don't have any culture, and they're cultureless, and we just don't have nothing as ours. And when we could roll that clip, one of the things that stood up to me when I saw this interview, y'all could roll it. He said some interesting stuff here.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
Topics of slavery. And we are African Americans, and we are still dealing with modern day slavery. We still have record contracts, publishing deals, touring deals, management deals, radio deals, that we not the owners. Until we really own our own community, really make Wakanda for real, this is gonna take more than the Jesus chain.
Well, we gotta make Wakanda probably with us too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I've been waiting. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to come. I'm talking to Doc. I'm talking to y'all.
Right.
We got. Ain't nothing even need to say on camera. We working. Even right now, we work. I'm delivering the message.
Yeah. You know, he said that black people cultureless, and there was like this debate going online, and they were saying, yeah, we are culture. You know, we set the mood. We set what's cool. We set the popularity. Like we dictate what's cool within the culture, especially in this country. And even after that, Black America, we are the most cultured thing out of all blacks, and I can say it with Africa, even with Latin America, Caribbean. We kind of dictate what's cool and we popularize it. And somebody got in and said something very interesting. He said, yeah, we dictate the coolness, but do we monetize it? Do we own it? Look at the NBA. We got all these black popular basketball players, but who are the owners? How many black owners you have?
And that just steers me into like it being so important that if the schools are not going to concern themselves with educating our children on business.
Oh, no.
Right? You have to become a business, all right? Woo Worldwide DJ Coalition, I've told every DJ on there that they need to become a business because you have to be able to monetize. Yeah. This world was built on people providing a service and getting paid for that service, or providing a product and getting paid for that. Yeah. I do want to say that as a Black American, you're Cuban. Tú eres mi amor.
Yeah.
But for Black Americans, it's really honest in saying that like we have no culture that we are directly connected to that we can say we are besides being American, right? I've got people from Africa always saying that, oh, you look like you're from here, you look like you're from there. I had one mom come up to me and say, you're so beautiful, where are you from? Yeah. And I shy away from that conversation because all I can say is I'm American, right? So Kanye's kind of not always able to put his thoughts
That's
into
the issue
words.
I have with him, yeah.
But I understand sometimes what he's trying to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, he talks about that. Of course, he talks about the mental issue that he had. You know, he's diagnosed being bipolar. He talks about...
all these people being popped up with bipolar diagnosis, just like our children constantly being popped, they have ADD. Yeah. I just think, in all honesty, that because we're different, we're just different.
Yeah, we're different, but, you know, you have to go back, you know, it's safe to say that after his mom died, it just went for him. So he's been all over the place. He doesn't have nobody on his side to just guide him to the right direction. So, I mean, you go from that extreme, you go to the Amber Rose extreme, and now you go to the Kim Kardashian extreme with that family. You know what they about if you see the show. I mean, you go to one extreme to another. So you go from humble Chicago to Hollywood. You don't know who you got on your corner to get you in that right place. One of the things he also talked about was like, look, there's a lot of acre in this country. We're buying things that are foreign from Louis Vuitton, Mercedes. Like, we pump this in our music. We pump, you know, foreign stuff, how it's cool to get the foreign. Like, you ain't, you know, self-con, you ain't up on this, you know. He said it in his music, you know, we got to focus not even on just Black America, just stuff that we got in this country that's ours. He said, I would rather be signed to a racist with a whole bunch of money to at least be somebody, because at least when I'm signing with a racist, they know what they think of me. So I don't have to be subliminal on, you know, does this person like me? Are you on my side? Or what it is with me? So, I mean, he made a real good point. And even with the music, he said, look, we pump drug dealing, we pump sexuality, we pump all this thing that land us in jail, and then on the same side, we're pumping to sign, you know, prison reform. So what side are we doing? He was really on this tip that he doesn't want to perform all his old hits again.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do all his whole hits. I mean, even he made his own version.
We can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on when it comes to Kanye, but I don't think he's bipolar. I don't think he.
Nah, I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
He's got stuff.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
We all have stuff. We all have mental issues, and as a black community, we deal with them in another way, like, than other people do.
Yeah, it's different.
We're not big on, I mean, we self-medicate, but we don't prescription self-medicate. You know, we don't have as many issues with the opioid crisis, although it is a crisis, and I do want to recognize that. I think Kanye West is the perfect example of a celebrity that has had to deal with going through low-income community up to wealthy community and the diaspora of mental issues and emotions that come in between that. I can't imagine how other people would kind of be able to deal with that. But Kanye, I rocks with you sometimes.
The one thing I will say that I do find annoying about him now that he's gone to his little Jesus trip, he's become, I have this in my family. You know, you act the fool all your life and then you're saved, but then once you become saved, you become super judgmental.
Right.
And you become like, you know, I'm like, I didn't go to jail. I usually found Jesus and you get out of jail. Now you're going to tell me I'm terrible because I'm listening to music? Go away. So he's become that guy now. He becomes judgmental. Yeah, he's gone that thing. So that's the one thing I can say that's become very annoying of that dude.
Thank you for the trending topics.
Of course.
Mr. Cuban Mic.
Yeah, I'll be here
You guys, it was perfect that we were briefly talking about how Kanye has spoken in terms of ownership. And now we're going to flip into our realty time. And you guys are going to get a chance to look at a piece of property that you could own. All right? Keep watching.
Hello, friends and family. It's me again. I hope you guys are having a blessed week. I am here at a broker's event, and I just wanted you guys to know I love my outdoor living space. This is the view from the rooftop. It looks identical to this. So here we have 6 condos for sale.
Yes, 6 condos.
And some
6 condos, baby.
Here's some of my thumbprint family. That's Angie and Nathan.
How's it going?
So 2 of the units feature, as you can see, this rooftop, this beautiful, beautiful view.
I want to be sandwiched in between 2.
All right, guys, I'm gonna give them a tour. Beautiful view. You can do your yoga, do your meditation. The units offer plenty of parking. Some more outdoor living space. Beautiful kitchen, everything brand new. Modern appliances. Look, we bring the outdoors in. Beautiful skylight. This is not the stage unit, but I'll still share with you guys. I haven't gone live in too long. Look at these. Master bathroom. Oops. Sorry, guys. All right, one of these have to be for the light. Maybe they didn't put the bulbs in. Let me take you guys downstairs to where it's staged, because you guys have seen it when they were still working on it. Now it's all staged. Okay, here we are. It's much better. Hi. Nice closet space. This is much better, right, guys? More closet space. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Hi, Asia. Bedroom. Can you see yourself living here? A nice study. A playroom, whatever you want it to be. Smart features. Into the door. Laundry hookup for the laundry room. Next bedroom. So it's 3 bedrooms total for this unit. Goodies for the brokers. Say hi, Alex.
What's up? What's up?
Another beautiful kitchen. Okay, guys. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you're interested. It's a condo in Roxbury. Beautiful.